Hey, good evening, everyone. Blitzball Champs back with a brand new video here on the U to the Tube. So, I wanted to take a moment to discuss two things. Uh, Carolina Panthers football related. First, apparently it was brought to my attention by my boss at my job, who's a Jets fan. Um, that apparently there was a tweet, and I'll share the tweet in the description box from Locked On Colts podcast that apparently Adam Schefter said that the Colts, the Washington team, and the Carolina Panthers have spoken to the Jets about Sam Darnold. So I don't know what the results of those talks are, but that kind of says something. Kind of puts a thought in my mind. Sam Darnold. Could Carolina potentially make an offer to get Sam Darnold? I mean, let's talk about this. When you really, 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 really think about it, if we were to get Sam Darnold, then we really wouldn't have to worry about getting a quarterback in the draft. We could actually take that and focus on the other areas of importance in the draft, such as O line, especially O line, such as secondary, middle linebacker, the D line, you know. But I would say O line would definitely be at the top of the list. But I mean, because when you think about it, I mean, don't get me wrong, I want a new quarterback as well. But you put anybody behind there without a stable, solid offensive line, I mean, shoot. Look what happened to Patrick Mahomes. That dude was running for his life in that Super Bowl game against the Bucks. Although I think it was kind of funny that Mike Remmers was on that offensive line and Patrick Mahomes was running for his life. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Super Bowl 50, when Carolina went up against the Broncos and Carolina had Mike Remmers on their offensive line. Funny how that ended up working out for the Chiefs. Just saying. I'm just saying. But I mean, Sam Darnold, young, you know, could potentially have been on the wrong team. But I mean, y'all, seriously think about it. Do you really feel that put him on Carolina, with the weapons that they have, do you feel like he has a good chance to succeed? I mean, right now he has a couple of years experience, which that's the edge that he has over these quarterbacks coming out of the draft. And that's not to look down on any of those quarterbacks. I'm sure they have bright futures, and I hope they succeed. But is getting Sam Darnold versus getting a quarterback out of the draft, is it really that big of a difference? I'm not saying that there isn't a difference, but is it really that big of a difference? I mean, we're getting a young guy. They're going to have to be developed into a franchise quarterback anyway. And I guess my whole thing is, developing either any of those quarterbacks coming out of the draft. You can do that for them, but what makes you think you can't do that for Sam Darnold? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And it might be beneficial because honestly, I don't see it costing as much as it would to get Deshaun Watson or even to get Matthew Stafford, to get Sam Darnold. Now, I don't really know about sending Bridgewater back there, considering he was on the Jets, and that didn't really work too well. So don't know if that's really an idea of sending Bridgewater there. But I mean, I'm interested to hear what it would possibly take to get Sam Darnold. Because honestly, I mean, like I said, Sam Darnold on a team with weapons, you can use the draft to build your O line and the other needs, and you got a young guy in Sam Darnold. I'm just saying that is just as much of an option as it is going for a quarterback in the draft, which, like a lot of people stress, don't know what we're getting, versus somebody that has a little bit of experience at least. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I'm just saying if there's any chance of, if this means no Teddy Bridgewater on Carolina, maybe this is that chance you take. But I don't know. I still I still feel like maybe, you know, we're going to end up keeping Bridgewater anyway because, with the contract situation, unless we can figure something out. Um, I mean, I know stat wise, he may not be on the level of compared to Carson Wentz, but like I said, young guy, and maybe he will actually be a better fit on Carolina. So, it's not impossible. It's not impossible. But like I said, it would intrigue me first to see what would have to happen, what would have to be um, offered in order to get him. But if it doesn't cost as much, getting him and then getting focusing on the O line in the draft and whatnot might not be a bad idea. Might not be a bad idea. Um, Secondly, and I want to give a shout out to Nathan John for mentioning this to me about a video or two ago. But supposedly, offensive lineman from the Baltimore Ravens, Orlando Brown Jr., I believe it is, apparently either wants to be traded or is supposed to be a free agent coming up. That apparently would be a big boost to the offensive line. Would be a big boost. And, when you think about it, we're potentially, because, I mean, we could potentially be losing Taylor Moton. Like, we don't even know if he's going to even be re signed. But, but yeah, like Orlando Brown Jr. seems like somebody that we could probably go for to help with the offensive line as well as the draft. That's something to take note of. 6'8", 355 pounds. Um, he's young. He's 24. He's a Sooner. Came out of Oklahoma. I mean, hey, he was on an 11-5 Baltimore Ravens that made it to the playoffs. Helped Lamar Jackson get his first playoff win. So hey, why not? Why not consider Orlando Brown Jr.? Probably help. Probably be a big help. But shout out to Nathan John for mentioning that to me about a video or two ago. I had to look that up and look into that, but yeah, could definitely help. And there's actually a third thing I wanted to mention. Now that I just remembered. So there was an article on ESPN, ESPN Plus article talking about the top 50 free agents and where they would be the best fit or whatnot. And it was mentioned that Dak Prescott, best fit, Carolina Panthers. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Here's the thing though with Dak Prescott. Um he would be coming off of a what was it, a microfracture and a dislocated knee, if I remember correctly. That's what Dak is dealing with. Apparently they say the recovery is gone well, but Dak Prescott, pretty much same age as Teddy Bridgewater. Um, this would he would be going into his sixth season. Um, my only thing with that is, he's going to want to get paid, and it sounds like he wants to hold out for a new long term deal. Which I mean, I don't know. I don't know if the Cowboys are going to give that to him. They might try to franchise him again, but I mean, my only question with Dak is health. Now, I'm not saying that it's impossible for him to bounce back, but I would be all for this idea if I wasn't suspect about his health. Because stat wise, he's a great quarterback, stat wise. I mean, the numbers don't lie. I mean, he's got some killer stats. Over the years, he's taken care of the ball well. And, that's one thing that stands out to me. When you take care of the ball, I mean, you look at the years like 2019, 30 touchdowns to 11 interceptions. You know, 2016, 23 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. Even before he got injured, 9 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. I mean, and his completion percentage has been consistently 65 or higher. So, I mean, when he's healthy, he puts up numbers. And he would be a big upgrade over Teddy Bridgewater, if we can be realistic. But the only thing, and for what it would take to get him, I'm not too sure. But for what it's worth, I'd be okay with a Dak Prescott. The only thing that would worry me the most in, going all in is his health. That's really the only thing. Is his health. Because that was a pretty sick injury that he suffered. Now, do I think his career is over? No. But it's one thing I do question is his health. That's really the only thing. But like I said, I'll share the tweet about Sam Darnold into the description box. But let me know what y'all think. Um, Sam Darnold sounds like Carolina's entertaining the idea of getting him. What are your thoughts on that? Orlando Brown Jr. from the Baltimore Ravens. Think he's somebody that we should go after? Because from what I was told, I believe he either wants to be traded or something like that. But Orlando Brown Jr. Um, would you consider getting him? for the offensive line, and Dak Prescott being considered best fit for the Carolina Panthers. What do you think of that? When you hear that, what do you think of that? But anyway, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a video. Thank you for watching. I'm yours truly, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. Hope everybody has a blessed day, and I will see y'all soon. Laters.